Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Headaches and Hot Takes podcast. I am your host, Shapirian, alongside my co-host, Hern, a.k.a. the Duke of Travel Strollers, a.k.a. the two-time quarterfinalist to be the official West Virginia University Mountaineer, a.k.a. the zero-time viewer of any singing competition after the year 2010, the Herniator. What's up, pal?
Baby?
Sorry to bring
How
up
you
the
doing?
trauma of those 2 consecutive years of getting to the top 8 and not getting the job done. But
I thought after the first year, I was like, I learned. I'm going to come back next year stronger, better.
better mullet,
faster,
better
stronger.
beard.
Yeah.
Still not enough.
This wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be.
And
That's
you
fine.
might not have been enough then, but you
But buddy.
are enough now.
I am enough now. And I'm great at doing stuff.
Great at doing stuff. So, your 2 favorite podcast kins coming at you today, with one of 2 Halloween specials that we have in mind. Yes.
Woo! Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. I love this time of year overall. It's hoodie weather, baby. You can go outside and football, hoodies,
Football. It
s'mores,
was
campfires. Oh.
freezing yesterday at the Michigan-Indiana game. It was a great
I
time,
bet it was.
but it was freezing and wet, and I did not even realize how wet I was until I got to the car. And my wife was like, "You're changing clothes when we get to the car because you're not getting our car that soaking wet." I was like, "I'm fine." And then I switched clothes, and like literally my hoodie was like 10 pounds. Like it was so heavy. I was like, "Oh my God," I did not realize how wet I was after 5 or 6 hours in the rain. So yeah.
That's funny. That's one of my favorite quotes with my good friend, full-time listener of the show, Mr. Treads. You know who you are.
I know him too.
Whenever we were
Good guy.
Whenever we were living together in Morgantown, we were trying to make the PRT. Which I don't know if you've been to Morgantown. Have you ridden the PRT?
I've been to Morgantown, never had to ride those stupid things. That apparently, if they make you late for class,
God
it's
bless
your
you.
fault, not theirs.
Yes, of course it is. When they
Whatever.
break down every 10 minutes. But anyway, we had to run to the PRT, and it was pouring the rain, and it would pour, and it kind of let up, and it pour, and kind of let up, and then at one point I said, "We won't even get that wet." And that was the quote. We won't even get that wet. And dude, like the pictures on my Instagram somewhere, we are soaked. Like you saw, like we both weigh 20 more pounds than we did before. And like we took a picture like standing on the PRT. We're the only ones on the thing because nobody else was dumb enough to actually be out around that time.
Yeah.
But we won't even get that
I
wet.
get to class.
It's a great quote. Yeah.
I'm not excusing you. And the bell does not excuse you. Let's get that clear.
Oh my gosh. You're gonna make me switch up my hot
excuse you.
take. You're gonna make me switch my hot take last second, aren't you?
Is it a hot take to say that's garbage? It's one of those things where, like, people still do it. But I feel like it
Yeah,
is a pretty uncommon opinion to act that way. So I don't know that it counts as a hot take.
My hot take tonight, I think you'll disagree with me on. I know a lot of everyone I've asked of my close friends and family disagrees with me, except for one. My father is on my side.
Wow.
Everyone else is like boldly against me on this opinion. So I think it's a decent hot take. So I'm curious to see what your opinion on it is.
I'm pretty pumped to hear it. So I do want to preview, if you're okay with it, the episode subject for once. We never do it, but this being a Halloween special episode, and I'm not going to hit you with something extra in the beginning like I tend to do with these episodes. Nothing extra. I think we go hot take of the week and then the subject, because it's going to be long, but it's going to be well worth it, because this week, you know what? You tell the people what we're doing, Hern.
We are going to do a ranking, baby. We are going to tell you, and we're going to work together. We haven't discussed this previously.
No, we've not.
We are going to arrive at a consensus top 5 Halloween candies.
A
let me
definitive
tell you something.
headaches and hot takes top 5. You tell me something.
We just now went through to type out the list that we could have a reference, because there's because you have to have a reference, because holy crap, pal, what do we have? 25 candies here?
Maybe more than that. It's a lot.
And there could be more, obviously. Some people are going to say, well, I got this for Halloween. Well, I didn't.
This was one of my favorites, and it's something
Yeah.
that you had one of every year. And it's like, shut up, bro. There's a couple on here that I think are kind of that way too, but
Right.
it is what it is. So
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
it's gonna be a good
Obviously,
time.
one of the best parts about Halloween as a kid is going and collecting it and then coming back and you dump it all out, and maybe you got some friends there and you work out your little trades or whatever, because there's something for everybody. Somebody in that pile wants your Tootsie Rolls. Let them have them.
Yeah. Hey, don't spoil the rankings. Okay. That's my number 2 answer right there.
Oh, okay. Oops.
Number 2. Get
Garbage.
it?
You're so stupid.
I knew you didn't even get it. You didn't even get it. You didn't even get it.
Stupid old
Yeah.
Hern didn't get it.
So, kind of a new episode format for us. We've done some rankings of some things before, sort of. But the goal, and I kind of called it this before, and you kind of agree that it's a good name for it, a definitive Headaches and Hot Takes Top 5. Or the Headaches and Hot Takes definitive Top 5. Not 4, not 6.
However you want to word it.
And there is going to be
Once
space.
3 be the number reached. 2, 4 shall thou not count, neither count thou 2, excepting that thou then proceed to 3. 5 is right out.
I feel very confident saying that between our listeners and myself, there's no way I'm the only one that's confused right now.
No, absolutely not. I hate that I fumbled it. I hate that I fumbled it from the beginning too. Yeah, I fumbled the exact number. That was Monty Python.
Oh, okay. See, I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I've not seen the whole movie. The main one is. It's multiple, right?
God.
But
yeah, that's Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
That's the one that I've seen parts of. Yeah. So
the holy hand grenade. You're supposed to count to 3 and then throw it, and that's the whole bit. Is the dude can't figure out 3.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well,
that's pretty good.
I think that's a pretty good way to get it started here. So I've said my piece for the beginning of the episode.
Thank God.
I figure it's about time. About time that guy Shapirian shuts up.
Everyone's favorite time of the week.
Is everyone? Hey, not only am I going to shut up now, but I'm going to shut up for at least a minute. So,
woo!
You want to tell the people what's going on?
It won't be that long, pal. Hot take of the week, baby. Rotate it back and forth. This week it is my take. I have up to a minute to rant, rave, whatever. So if I so choose to use it, as Shapirian will throw in there in the fine print.
Didn't think it would be necessary. Here we are.
This will not be a full minute take. It honestly may be like a 10-second take before I'm like, give your opinion, because it is very opinion based. So I want to see.
Hey,
I want to see what your
show of hands. What's your favorite color?
So stupid. I'm gonna say blue. I said that one time.
So, anyways, I'm ready to shut up. If you're ready to talk,
I am, pal. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Common question you may be asked: would you rather be hot? Would you rather be cold? I'd rather be hot. I don't know why I'm apparently like the only one that feels this way. And any person who says I'd rather be cold, they're gonna say, well, it's easier to get warm. You throw on a blanket, throw on some extra clothes. You never acknowledge how easy it is to get cold as well. First off, for every layer you can take on to get warmer, you can just take off to get cold. Yeah, you can't walk down the street naked, but you could walk around the house in your underwear if you so feel, if you're so hot, whatever. I think a lot of people go to the extreme of like, if I'm hot, I'm sweating. But you won't. Well, what do you think I mean when I'm saying you're cold? If we're saying the hot of I'd rather be hot is me sweating, then the cold is like shivering. Not like, oh, it's a little cold, let me get under a blanket. It's shivering, because that's the opposite of sweating. It's your body sweats to produce moisture to cool you down. Your body shivers to create movement to warm you up. It is literally the opposite. So don't act like, oh, I'm about to be sweating. You're gonna be shivering then. You're electing to shiver. You can go take a cold shower. You can take a cold bath if you're that hot. You drink a nice tall glass of ice water, cool you down. I'm not saying that like the two ends of this are: would you rather be in the Sahara Desert with no water or be in the Antarctic with no clothes on? It's not that extreme. But if you would told me, would you rather it be 90 degrees or 20 degrees? I'm giving 90 all day, every day. I'm taking 90. And we grew up in West Virginia where it snowed for like 6 months of the year. It's probably going to snow before Halloween. It does almost every year. I hate the snow. It's cold. Yeah, I don't like having to bundle up 4 layers to go outside. You're scraping your car, falling on ice. No part of it's fun. You get cold and like you literally can't move. There will be times like in track practice, I'd be leaving track practice, texting my dad, hey, I'm heading home. And I couldn't text because my fingers were so cold. I couldn't move my fingers. That don't happen when you're hot. Oh, I'm sweating. Yeah, you're sweating. You can move your body. Like, what are we doing here?
Oh my god.
So come on in, pal, and tell me.
You're dead wrong, dude. You're dead wrong.
How?
First of all, I want to go back to one of the things you said. And while I do agree that on the surface, sweating is to hot as shivering is to cold. But you're not taking into consideration just how much easier it is for a human to reach the point of needing to sweat as compared to reaching the point of needing to shiver.
And that's based on the person
I
too.
shiver at most once a year, right?
Okay.
I sweat all the time. I mean, because you sweat exercising, you sweat. Listen, like when we've got one room in our house that's just like insanely hot, and it's where our cat's litter boxes are, and I gotta go change the litter boxes, and by the time I'm done, I'm always sweating, and I'm freaking annoyed, right? It's because I'm so hot, and it's like, I can't believe you're disregarding the point of just how much easier it is to get warm whenever you're cold than how much easier it is to get cold when you're hot. Like, it takes time, and also, like, when you reach that point of getting like overheated would be the term, right? Like you're taking at least 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so in order to get back to a point of being able to continue your day. When's the last time that you got so cold that happened to you? Like, it's usually like you can get warm again like immediately in the right circumstances. And again,
how?
I was just freezing.
How are you getting warm immediately?
I'm just thinking, like, for the sake of, in terms of being overheated, right? You mentioned, trying to text when your fingers are like frozen off, right? It only takes
which
5
doesn't
to 10
mean
seconds, like in front of a heater. You're good. You're fine at that point in order to move.
No.
Absolutely. What?
You've been outside.
You're gonna tell me that I'm wrong?
You've been outside in 20 degrees for 2 hours, and you take 5 seconds in front of a heater, and your fingers are fine?
How did your
That's not true.
coach allow this?
Dude, it was West Virginia, buddy. There was no OSHA around. It sucked. It was terrible. We would run in the snow. And try telling that to anybody. Even in Tennessee, I told people that. They're like, what? Because in Tennessee,
what?
I'm not kidding. In Tennessee, if there was a threat of a half an inch of snow, school was
canceled. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I've seen like light dustings completely get schools closed places, and then like, 7.5 inches. Like, you might get one day, but like the next day when it's all still on the ground, you're back, bro. Like,
it's not shutting schools down.
So, yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from. But back to the point. Sorry, pal. I'm gonna have to hard disagree with you on this one. I would rather be cold and like the easiest change is like putting clothes on. Like, that's so much easier than take clothes off. Like, okay, if it's hot, I already dressed for hot weather. I'm already like at most in like a regular t-shirt and shorts, and like at least like a tank, shorter shorts, and like flip-flops, like, or like slides, right? Like,
but also how often is it
change that?
How often is it that you're dressed like that? You're wearing a tank top, shorts, flip-flops, and you're like, man, I'm really hot now. You obviously plan to be a little warm.
Yeah.
Is it catching you off guard that you're hot?
It depends on the days. Like, there are some years where it feels like, man, this heat is just unreal and things like that. Like, going to a baseball game, right? I love going to baseball games and stuff like that, obviously when it's hotter and stuff. I do actually prefer it when it's a little colder in the spring and a little colder, in the fall, although my baseball team never plays in the fall. But that being said, yeah, it's just like I kind of lost track of where I was going with that. But there are times where, like, man, it's going to be hot, but it's more so a matter of, like, it's going to be hot, but I already planned this activity so far in advance, vacations and stuff. I've never had an activity happen. Yesterday, going to a football game, it's freezing outside. My wife hates the cold. She's with you. I'll tell you this already. She'd much rather be hot than be cold. And she's always too cold. Does not matter. Actually, I think she's just always the wrong temperature. If it's the summer, she's too hot. If it's the winter, she's always too cold. It does not matter. Sometimes she'll be vice versa, right in the thick of things. Sometimes she'll be too hot in the winter. And I'm just like, it doesn't matter what the temperature is. You're never right. Love you, sweetheart. That being said, like, we planned to go to this game months ago, and we didn't know what the weather was going to be until like a week ago, right? We knew what it might be. We knew it was going to be colder, being in October, but wet and rainy and stuff, and it gets miserable and things like that, but we're not going to cancel our plans around it. And so, that being said, I think it's just a matter of being able to better prepare for it. We knew it was going to be cold, wet, and rainy. You layer up, and I don't think the temperature was actually much of an issue at all. If you plan on something and it ends up being 102, the temperature will be an issue at multiple points in the day. It just will.
Okay. I think what happens if at the end of the day I convince nobody that maybe being hot is better, that's fine. But I think I'm asking for the acknowledgement that I think a lot of times what happens, you didn't do it just now, but I think a lot of times what happens is when people have this opinion, especially when people are on team cold,
that's my opinion.
All they say is I can throw on layers or whatever. You only acknowledge like the easiest sides of your argument and only acknowledge the hardest sides of this argument, which a lot of people do. Period. Right, but. Like I said, I'm not.
Point. That's a lot of people winning.
You have to acknowledge the fact that whenever you say, "Well, I'd rather not sweat," than admit that you're choosing to shiver. I don't think a lot of people would say that.
I don't think that's necessarily true though, because I shiver maybe once. I didn't shiver once yesterday. If it was 102, if it was hotter than I expected it to be, right?
102 is too extreme. 102. If you're saying 102, then I'm saying -2. If you're saying 90, I'm saying 20.
Like, what's an average temperature? Like 65?
What do you mean?
Is that a fine average outside temperature for you to agree on?
Sure.
Because like 102 is to that as what 28 degrees. Like I'm fine in 28 degrees. I am.
If you think 102 hot is 28 cold,
one temperature,
no way.
It's the same amount away from each other, right? 37 away.
I get okay. That's
part of the thing, though. That's part of the thing, right? 35 degrees hotter than 65, or 37. I said, sorry, 37 degrees hotter than 65 is so much worse than 37 degree colder because it's so much better to when it gets colder. It takes so much more cold for it to become miserable and unbearable and things like that than it does to take heat. That's a big part of the argument.
You don't think 20 degrees is miserable?
I don't, but I'm a freak. I love the wintertime. Winter's probably my favorite season.
What is for you? You have a planned day outside, just to be outside. You're not planning on doing activities or whatever. You just want to chill outside. What is your man, that's the perfect temperature to be outside. What is it? I've always said 72.
See, you definitely you just like it hotter. I don't think I'm saying
that's
70
not hot.
Anything. It's not hot. I don't think that's hot to where I'm like, it's hot today, y'all. I don't think I'd be like that at 72. But literally, I was thinking 62. We're 10 degrees apart.
No, 62, especially if there's a breeze, you need a jacket. You need long
I'm
sleeves.
thinking 62 after the breeze. So you talk about wind chill. Wind chill makes it 62.
God. So then what's the ambient temperature? 65, 67?
Probably 65 at most. 64, 65.
Because there's that too. You have to consider that too. The wind only affects the cold. In a negative way. Wind helps when it's hot. Whenever it's 90 degrees and there's a nice breeze.
That's one thing that's kind of a downside to both. Is I feel like when it's cold, you feel it's freaking windy all the time. I feel like when it's hot, you're lucky to ever get a breeze.
That's fair. It does seem to always happen.
And I don't know why that is. You think it'd be just as windy all the time, but it's not.
Yes, that is true. But I do think that when it is windy, when it's cold, and when it is windy when it's hot. When it's windy and it's hot, you're like, oh, that's nice. A nice little breeze. When it's 20 degrees and that breeze comes through, that'll pierce through a couple layers of clothes. And you're just like, okay, I had 3 layers on, and now because I didn't have the exact coat I need or whatever.
Yeah.
Again, I know I'm apparently the minority for this. I think a lot of times in this argument it goes both ways. But yeah, absolutely not. I think if you got to sit down and look at the whole argument. And say,
I just can't get over especially me at this point, numbers really make the world go round for me. And so started thinking it through. I'm like 65 is a pretty neutral temperature. You could even say 70, but then that hurts your argument worse. Because to get to 100 degrees from 70 only takes 30. 30 degrees from 70 on the cold direction makes it 40. And 40, no one's miserable at 40 degrees. No one. People in Florida aren't miserable at 40 degrees. Okay, and they're so spoiled with warm winters and things like that. And so I just don't think 100 degrees is a lot hotter than 40 degrees is cold if you're taking 70 as the base. And I don't know. I can't justify changing my mind on this. So I'm definitely sticking with I'd rather be cold than hot. I just would.
The average global temperature in 2022, which was the warmest ever, was 57 degrees. So let's, for the sake of this argument, let's take it from 57. So now you're taking 30. Say just do 30.
That makes 27 to 87.
87 versus 27. I'm taking 87 all day.
I think that's a fair point, but I don't. What's the average? I don't care about global temperature. What's the average temperature in the United States? Because 57. like, that just feels low, right? Like, I mean, definitely,
I guess
like,
I guess that's
year.
literally considered Antarctica is what that's considered, but it's also considered the Sahara.
Right.
So
that's kind of tough. I don't know. I don't really know what to make of that.
ooh, buddy.
What?
2022, the average temperature in the U.S. 52.
5 degrees colder. You're kidding me. I don't agree with that.
That
though.
is from
I feel like
weather.gov. That's from weather.gov.
one of the things that's messing with that is that because of global warming, and I'm not debating the existence of global warming, there's literal data to back it up.
What?
You what?
What?
Okay, drive up then.
I'm Sal.
I'm Sal. Whoa, Sal. You gotta slow down, buddy. I'm not debating the existence of global warming. It exists, even if you don't want to talk about it. There's numbers to back it up. But that being said, because of global warming, what global warming really means, it's kind of a horrible name, is more extremes regardless. And so we're getting more extreme hots. We're also getting more extreme colds. I don't know about you, Hern. I feel like spring and fall basically don't exist anymore. It's like the perfect spring and fall temperatures for like 2 weeks before it goes straight into like too cold, too hot. I'm annoyed.
Right.
And
yeah.
that's how it's been for the past couple of years at least. And now it seems to only be getting worse.
Yeah. I think we mentioned this briefly on a previous episode. I think it vastly depends on where you are. Like for instance, this is now our second October in Texas, and our highs like all next week are like low 80s.
God,
which is like cold for us. It's been over 100 for months, which apparently is abnormal for a summer. But like down here, obviously we won't get down to the 40s like ever. So like you have to shift the range. But like down here, it'll be 80s. Like I think last year on Christmas it was like 74 degrees. Like it is like it's a slow burn. So it does kind of feel like a more natural transition to us because we're still acclimated, I guess, to northern weather. Some people acclimate apparently in like a weekend to weather. I don't know how it's possible. I've been here over a year, and I still like it'd be 100 degrees, and Texans are out wearing long blue jeans and a tank and like a sweatshirt.
Never.
I'm not kidding.
Never.
No way. But then like 75 degrees, and people wearing 3 layers down here. So like
that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I don't even know how you're wearing a hoodie in that temperature. Like I struggle to wear long sleeves at all during the summer, and the summers here are in the 80s. It was in the 90s a lot this summer because again we're destroying the planet. But like it just because again this is the hottest summer ever. It's the coldest summer for the rest of your life.
What a way!
I know, huh?
Yeah,
at least
thanks for that.
That's the way it's been trending. Every summer's been hotter than the last for like 7 or 8 years. So. Anyways, I've said my piece. You said your piece?
There you have it, pal.
All right, this has been Headaches and Hot Takes. I was your host, Shapirian. And no, I'm just kidding. See ya. See ya. I'm out of here.
Peace.
No, now on to the main event. And I'm really excited about this. So the way that we kind of discussed it is, again, we've got like literally 30 candies here. Not all of them are going to get a lot of spotlight or anything like that. I don't even know if the big ones are going to get a lot of them. That's the point. Wow, thanks for stating the obvious, Hern. Appreciate you for that. I'm just kidding.
Always count on me, pal.
You're welcome.
Thanks for nothing.
Thanks for nothing.
That trilobite didn't know an oboe from an elbow.
Elbow.
More band humor.
Elbow.
What is a trilobite? What did I just say?
It's like an old, like weird shelled creature. They have like 3 little.
I figured it'd be like it's SpongeBob. Yeah. It looks like a fossil.
Yeah. Well, because they're all fossils now. That's the kind of the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, what I was saying is that we go off the rails way too freaking quick, bro. Like again, we missed our calling this the Off the Rails podcast. I feel like I love our name. I love our name, but like man, we go off the rails in about 0.2 seconds. So yeah. I figured what we could do here is, since we don't know what the order is, and we don't want to have to work backwards, not knowing what we're going to want or what we're going to agree on being, afterwards, we're going to start at 1. We're going to go candy to candy and go through all of them until we figure out, okay, this is the best candy. The slight issue with that is that I'm fairly certain we're going to have... Oh, God. Excuse me.
You keep that in.
I'm definitely cutting that out.
Okay, yeah, I knew you would.
The God forbid no one wants to hear me burp. God.
All right, reset. I'm gonna be in a totally different position, so it's gonna be an obvious cut.
No. I'll switch to a face cam. So
I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna sit here until I speak.
It does not matter. I do not care what you do, bro. I do not care. You're being so obnoxious. I love it, dude. It's so good. The issue is, I think there's going to be a pretty easily agreeable consensus between the two of us as to what our idea of the best Halloween candy is. And so I think we get it out of the way. Before we go through a single other candy, Hern, do you have any issues? Speak now or forever hold your pieces about what the best Halloween candy is. Do you have any issues with it being Reese's?
REESES. Peanut butter chocolate flavor. Baby.
I think putting a cereal as your favorite Halloween candy is pretty egregious, pal.
REESES. It's Reese's, baby. Now, are we going to say, because I think we should, these are the cups?
Definitely cups.
These are the cups.
Regular size cups, not the mini ones. Definitely not pieces.
The huge ones, yeah. Well,
no, definitely not the big cups either.
Okay. If we were doing a personal list, I would throw pieces. I would throw Reese's Pieces pretty high as well.
And we certainly have the opportunity to do that. But there's just not... I'm probably going to have it as my personal number one. I don't see you having it lower than 2 or 3, right? Like, there's just no way.
REESES? CUPS? Number one, baby.
CUPS. Number one.
That rolled right off the tongue. Do that.
That was great.
Do that
REESESCUPS.
Dude, that rolls, don't it? It just feels
It really does.
And that's why it's number one.
Yeah. So
that's the way it works.
That's a pretty easy number one. It just has to be. So
Hello.
if you're here for the alternative of not Reese's Cups being number one, because I feel like it does get number one a lot on these.
Yeah,
rankings.
we're not incredibly unoriginal saying that.
These guys said they give hot takes and said Reese's is number one, just like everyone else. Well, sometimes everyone's right. Not often.
Oh, I just thought of one. Okay, it don't matter because I promise you would not put it as high as I would.
Right, and that's the thing.
But it's not on the list. It's not on this list, so I'll have to throw it in at the end.
Okay. That's fine with me, dude. We can hit it now if you want and just kind of go in order after that. Okay. I think it's just a matter of, like, the way you need to think of it in terms of us agreeing is, like, if we rate it on a scale of 1 to 100, which I don't want to do without them right in front of us because then we're just going off of memory. Memories can be false. If we're rating on a scale of 1 to 100, I might rate something 100. He might rate it a 12. We're not going to have something with an average higher score than Reese's. Well, hello again. Sorry for the interruption. We had to take a bit of a break in recording and come back and revisit the same episode on another day. As you can see, I'm in different clothes. Hern is not. I didn't get the memo that we were wearing the same thing. Which he said he's just wearing that for anyways. Like, he just wanted to wear it. He's just wearing it.
It's comfy.
Again.
It's comfy, buddy.
It looks comfy. Did we talk about the fact that I wanted to buy that, by the way?
I don't think so, but yeah, you said I showed you this out that I was wearing this, and you were like, I wanted that.
Yeah, I thought about buying it when I first saw it, and ended up not because it was $60. But you said $60.
Worth it, dude.
I don't get out of bed for less than $200.
The comfort, dude.
It looks so good,
and it is warm. Like I'm warm.
It's like a blanket.
It's
It looks like a blanket. Yeah, it looks pretty freaking comfortable.
I love it.
So don't mind me. I'm just repping the biggest cheaters in America, apparently. So
yep, get out of here.
Hiring former Marines to steal signs for us. It is what it is. Go blue. If we cheated, I hope we get punished accordingly. But
an honest fan.
I hope we didn't cheat, and I hope that we can find a loophole to get out of it. That's what I want to happen out of this. I hope we find a loophole.
There are loopholes for. If you want it bad enough, there's one.
It sounds like there's loopholes for this. There's multiple big time reporters who are like, this is nothing, and no punishment's going to come from this. But then there's like beat reporters for like big colleges. Like I saw a guy who's literally an Ohio State beat reporter be like, I fully expect a postseason ban to go into effect this year. I'm like, I bet you do feel that way.
Yeah.
I feel that way too after the last 2 years. Son.
Boy.
But anyways, what we were talking about before was a candy that you just thought of that we did not have on our list that we wanted to talk about. We agree already. We're going 1 through 5, but we're going to rank them 1 through 5. We already set number 1. Now we're looking for number 2. Number 1 is Reese's Cups. It's the best Halloween candy. Yes?
REESES.
Yes.
CUPS.
Yes.
Peanut butter chocolate flavor.
And we can kind of do our own thing. We said about like discussing and maybe picking our own individual favorites, but we're making a headaches and hot takes top 5, not a Shapirian and Hern top 5. So, for me, I think Reese's would be my number 1, but that's our number 1 for the list. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, it is. The candy that I randomly thought of that I don't know if I could have the guts to say I'm gonna place it in my top 5. I just loved it growing up. The little like chalk sticks that everybody 100% act like they were smoking cigarettes. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Or what else were they? Superheroes and like Mickey Mouse sometimes.
Yeah, like I think it was just random pop culture stuff. But
they have
mostly
fun boxes, and you open up it's just white sticks.
It's just little white sticks. It looks like chalk. And dude, I love those. I don't know. That was one of my favorite things. To like, oh, I got some of it. Like, because that was the only time of year you saw it. It was the only time of year you saw it.
Agreed.
Maybe only candy corn, the other candy that you get on Halloween that you don't see other times of the year. You can get freaking Reese's Cups year round. You can't get the chalk sticks and candy corn year round.
And we discussed our thoughts on candy corn already, right? Did we talk about that on the pod? We did. We are a pro candy corn podcast.
We teased it. We teased it. Yep.
And we'll talk more about it because it's not coming up on this episode because we agreed it's not like a Halloween candy because you don't get it for trick or treating.
Right.
But I've been drinking the Candy Corn G Fuel all month. Hashtag not a sponsor. Hashtag should be. Hashtag could be G Fuel if you're listening. And that Candy Corn G Fuel is amazing. It's so good. It's so good. So I'm all in on the candy corn right now with a couple weeks left in the month. Actually, like a week left in the month at this point. Right. So yeah, it is what it is. So
there it is. Hit us off with the next. No, yeah, you move on and tell us the next.
No, I'll move on.
Okay, that's I
know that's what you said. So we're gonna kind of go, and I guess we're gonna try to make our way through the entire list and just maybe have the best one standing at any given time. So like maybe do number 2 versus number 3 here.
Okay.
So first we got Reese's Pieces. We can talk about them on their own. Then we'll go to the next one, and we'll have the next thing standing. So what are your thoughts on Reese's Pieces, Hern?
I love them. They're not gonna beat the cups, but
which is why they're fighting for number 2, not number 1, right? So
yeah, but I mean, of all the variations of REESES, they're great. I love them.
I think one of the issues you run into is that, if you want to call it that, like if I have Reese's Pieces in my Halloween bucket, I'm happy with that, and they will get eaten very quickly. But I would almost always rather have a Reese's Cup, Reese's Pumpkin, Fun Size Reese's Cup. Are there any other variants I'm missing for Halloween? That's pretty.
Not really for Halloween. I don't think so. Yeah,
the Reese's eggs though.
The eggs. Yeah. We ordered some of the pumpkins today from Walmart. So yeah,
okay. They're good too. They're good too. So. I love Reese's Pieces. I think they're very good. I'll be honest, I think they're a contender. I think they're a contender for top 5. I do. I don't know where they'll land. Okay. I don't know if they'll get second, but they're a contender for top 5.
Okay, I would agree.
What about that next candy? Because I think you feel a little better about it than I do.
This next candy, bro, personally, I'm putting it up there. Dots. I sought out Dots. I love... Who doesn't love, like, gummy... You like fruit snack gummies, probably? Like... And Dots are notoriously bad. If the smallest crack is in that box and air gets in there, they turn to rocks.
Baby.
They turn to rocks. So I will. They're not the perfect candy.
Experience.
But dude, I love Dots. That's another one where I would say I really didn't see it. At least I didn't get it. I didn't have Dots other than Halloween. I don't know. I liked it.
I think I was always disappointed by Dots every time because I think the branding is very interesting. I think the box is really fun, and it looks like a quintessential type of candy. But every time I had Dots, I was like, ugh, that's just not what I was wanting. And also, have you seen Dots as an adult? Have you seen movie-sized boxes of Dots? Or, like, how do you secure the bag, the Dots bag, as an adult if you want to?
It's weird. It is kind of, like, gimmicky. Like, I don't know. That's a good point. I don't know. But compared to a lot of things on this list, for me, I like Dots better than a lot of things on this list. I'll tell you that.
So right now, maybe it'll be your honorable mention that doesn't make our top 5. Yes? Is that possible?
Yep. I'll say that, yep.
Okay. But for right now, it's pretty safe to say that in terms of both of us, Reese's Pieces are definitely beating Dots. And we can kind of quickly go, because we'll have plenty of time to give all these spotlight.
Right.
But next up, we have M&M's. And M&M's versus Reese's Pieces is kind of a good It's kind of a good debate to have, right? Because they're kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah, I think if you don't like both of these, who are you? You just suck.
If you don't like either of these, dude, like, why are you listening to the Halloween Candy Ranking podcast?
Yeah, get out of here.
Who are
Get
you?
out.
Who are you?
Get out. I don't know. Especially, and we've got the variations at M&Ms. Well, specifically what we have are M&Ms and peanut M&Ms because we felt that those were the two biggest variations.
And we can throw that in there right now as well. Because I'm going to make an argument for one of them over the other one. I just don't think you're going to... I don't think you're going to place either of these above Reese's Pieces enough to make it fight. Is that fair?
I would not. Honestly, for me, real quick, between peanut M&Ms and M&Ms, it's kind of neutral because when they're hitting, when they hit, peanut M&Ms are probably better. But dude, occasionally you get one with like a burnt peanut
with like a weird taste. Yeah, and you're
it's
like,
not
what
weird.
was
It's
that?
disgusting.
What was that stinky
disgusting.
peanut M&M I just had?
And unfortunately, sometimes that happens on like literally the last one in the bag, and that's what you end on. Oh, I hate it, dude. It's so they're either great or they're so bad.
What a valid point. I don't think I've ever heard a more valid like description of peanut M&Ms because I used to have a little M&Ms like dispenser machine in my room. It was like this big, and I just like my mom would buy me M&Ms to fill it up with, and I just have it to like get a handful at any given time. It was pretty fun. And this was like in middle school too, so this was like not even when I was a little kid. So I remember it pretty vividly. But peanut M&Ms were definitely the one that I preferred over the regular. Peanut butter M&Ms are also elite. I never got them for Halloween though, right? So maybe you did, but not enough for me to consider it a Halloween candy. But I'm gonna fight for peanut M&Ms, and I would have them over Reese's Pieces. I would. I just think that when you're thinking about Halloween candies and the perfect Halloween candies, Reese's Pieces, as elite as they are as a candy, don't quite capture that spirit of trick-or-treating in the way that seeing that yellow M&M's bag does, because I feel like, I mean, maybe part of the reason I'm feeling this way is because I got peanut M&M's a lot more often than I got Reese's Pieces. And so when I'm thinking like, definitely, for Halloween, did you get a lot of Reese's Pieces? Because I got those mostly for Easter from my parents. I got the little carrot bag of those.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
So I think in terms of a Halloween candy, I would put peanut M&Ms over Reese's Pieces. That is my argument. What do you think? We got a long list to get through, so I mean, it's not like it's gonna for sure land as the number 2.
Right. I don't know. I think both on the shelf right in front of me, I'm taking Pieces over peanut M&Ms probably like 8 times.
I think that's fair. I don't disagree with you. I think that I probably am like exactly 50-50 because I love peanuts. I just like peanuts in general. But peanut M&Ms to me are one of the few candies that I'll eat. And because they have peanuts and the candy, I'm like, well, this isn't the worst thing I could be eating right now. So like I'll frequently get Goobers, the chocolate covered peanuts when I go to the movies and stuff. So
I got you. Yeah. Okay.
That's my argument. If you want to leave, I'll be leaving Reese's Pieces as number 2 for right now.
My vote would be yes. My vote would be yes. If you want to, and we'll throw.
I'm fine with it.
Peanut
I won't
M&Ms
fight you.
Is that what we're doing? Or are we saying it? Okay.
I think we'll just keep moving on right now as we decide number 2, right? Is that what you want to do?
Okay.
Make our way through the list
fine.
as quickly, slowly as possible, whatever you want to say.
All right.
We'll get through the list at least once and then have an idea of like, this has no chance. I'm not even mentioning this for the top 5 from there on, right? So
There are several coming up that I will have probably 3 words to say about them. Yeah. So.
Is this one of them? Skittles?
Skittles are good. I like Skittles compared to already the candy we mentioned. Get out.
Get out of here. I agree completely.
You know they're not flavored. They're scented. You seem like the guy who would be aware of that.
That makes a lot of sense, and I think I saw something about that on like a how it's made.
Yeah, I love how it's made, dude. I love how it's made.
I used to love them. Now I've struggled to have the attention span for them because I'm like I want to be mindless now. I don't want to really consume. I want to like just be drained. You know what I mean? That's how I want to consume my media now.
Okay.
But I used to love how it's made, and yeah, I think I saw one on that. So
they are scented, not flavored. Fight me.
Well, that's why when you put 7 flavors of them in your mouth all at once and chew them, it's the same taste every time. It's not like I got more lemon this time. Oh, this one has more. This one's like 5 lime, 2 grape, and a lemon. Wow, this tastes. No, it's like if you get like a wad of Skittles in your mouth, it's always the exact same.
Exactly.
It's one of the better non-chocolate candies, but spoiler alert for me, I'm gonna fight a lot harder for the chocolate candies. I just am.
Yep. Sorry. I think a lot of people would. So yeah. Sorry, Skittles. Compared to what we've already mentioned. Sorry.
Yep. But next up,
even
Sour
lower.
Patch Kids. I also
lower.
think lower. You think lower too? Sour Patch Kids.
I don't know what it is for me personally. I hate sour stuff. I don't like sour Skittles. I don't like.
You don't
Sour
like
Patch
any of the
Kids.
extreme flavor profiles, do you? Do you like overly sweet stuff? I don't feel like you even do. Do you? Overly sweet.
What would be like an overly sweet
Cotton candy is the best
Love
example.
cotton candy.
You do? Okay, so you could definitely do like overly sweet, but you don't like spicy and you don't like sour. And those are two of the
I'm
more
growing.
extreme.
Spicy is
Yes.
growing on me. I'm
That's
still
what I
like
need to hear.
I'm a baby about it. Like I'm probably gonna think, oh gosh, that's spicy, and you're gonna be like, no, it's not. That's probably gonna happen, but it's growing on me a little bit. But sour, I want to eat candy that makes you go. I want to eat the chocolate. I'm like, oh, I guess melts in my mouth, and it tastes good.
It's interesting because I've noticed over the past few years, like sour stuff gets a big reaction out of me, like an involuntary one, bigger than I used to as a kid. But I still love the taste of sour stuff. My mouth is like tingling thinking about it. By the way, my mouth is like bracing for sour stuff. Does yours ever do that?
Yeah, it's like it just knows.
Mine
Your
is
body's
bracing
wired,
for it.
dude.
It's like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Yeah, mine's doing that right now thinking about it because I'm thinking about toxic waste.
Yeah.
Remember those? And I love those.
Stuff, yeah.
People used to be like, ooh, challenge. Ooh, bet you give a bigger reaction than me. And I'd be like, I just like the way these taste. Can I please just have them in my Easter basket? Like,
Yeah.
not talking to my parents like that, but just talking in general. Like, I like these. Can I have these? So,
Please. So,
the
sorry.
Sour Patch Kids,
Spoiler.
they're not cracking my... I'll tell you right now. I hope you're not listening thinking it cracks top 5. I don't think it does.
It don't crack my top 15, buddy.
They're good, but I ate like 3, and I'm like, that's enough. Okay. And I like sour stuff, and you don't. So I don't even know how you'd want 3.
Right, I don't.
So here's one that I could see us having some issues on. I'll let you intro the next one and give your thoughts.
Probably in the minority here. I have probably had less than 10 Twix experiences in my entire life.
So I take it you don't love it then.
I just think, again, if I'm at the vending machine and I see some of these candies you've already mentioned, I'm not going to be like, Twix.
Dude. I'm never, ever like, oh my God, yeah, that's exactly what I was wanting when I came here.
Right.
There is one bar that if I'm not getting a Reese's, well, I just said Reese's. That's what I always say.
R-E-E-S-E-S.
If I'm not getting Reese's Cups, there's a bar that I'm like, this is the one that I want. More often than not, and we'll get to that. Twix is literally never that.
I'm wondering if we have the same bar, because it is a bar that I go for. And this bar, I honestly will go for over R-E-E-S-E-S-C-U-P-S.
Sometimes
most
I will.
Times.
Sometimes I will. Knowing you, I would not be surprised if it's the same bar, because I think we might be on the same page here. That would be interesting.
Okay.
So
I'm excited. So Twix, sorry.
Yeah, not Twix. Twix is fine. I'm not a hater. But I just feel like, because it's like a cookie bar. The bar part is a cookie with caramel and the chocolate. They call it a cookie bar.
Yeah.
You ever like pry all the chocolate and the caramel off and then just eat the cookie?
No.
You've not had enough to do that.
Not my less than 10 times, yeah.
It's underwhelming. It's very disappointing. I think they did do a peanut butter Twix one of these times. Peanut butter on anything is a way to make me like it more. Yeah. But not enough to make Twix anywhere near the top 5. So right now we got Reese's Pieces standing as the contingent number 2.
Yep.
Then we're going to go on to another one here. My favorite Lunchables candy bar, the Nestle Crunch Bar. Thoughts?
Again, I don't think I've had more than 10 Crunch Bars. So I'm going to... If I had to guess just looking at them, I probably would put Twix above them based on... Because I couldn't tell you the last time I ate one of these.
I'm just not a fan. Like, same with like Hershey Crackle. You know Hershey Crackle? You ever have those?
I've seen that. I don't think I've tried it.
Which, first of all, Hershey Crackle, Hershey's Special Dark, and Mr. Goodbar. I used to get them some for Halloween, but they're like really not a Halloween candy at all. At all, I would say. So they're not even on the list. Quick mention of those. I'm a fan of Special Dark Hershey's and Mr. Goodbars, but they're not Halloween candies. So
get out.
So, yep. No strong feelings on the Crunch Bar either way. I would definitely put it beneath Twix, which means we can keep going for now, unless you got something else to say.
Get out of here, Crunch.
2 more that are kind of, contingent on each other here. Milky Ways and Milky Way Midnights. I will just put this out here right now. The Midnight Milky Ways are so much better than the original. So much better. And I think they have no caramel. Am I Was steak in there?
I couldn't tell you. I had never heard of Milky Way Midnights until you said it. So
They have something different in there. Maybe it is caramel still, but I know the nougat or whatever is different. But you never even heard of them, so you've never even had them.
I definitely.
So
Well,
they cannot make the top 5. Almost
that
certainly.
and something else that's coming up here in 2 more that we have on this list. I have never.
That
heard
one's
of.
crazy, and
Yeah.
like you're gonna get it from me.
I need to try it. I need to try it.
I cannot believe you never had it. I can't believe you never saw it as a kid and was like, I gotta try this. Mom, please.
Yeah.
Like,
It
because it was
sounds
always right
appetizing.
next to the other thing of it. Oh, man.
Okay.
But I like Milky Way Midnights. I'll be honest with you. If I'm ranking my own personal top 5, Milky Way Midnights they're a bit of a dark horse to maybe get 5th. Regular Milky Ways are not. I always preferred every other candy bar, maybe even including Twix, over Milky Ways. And I never go for them as an adult either. I literally never have Milky Ways. Do you ever do Milky Ways?
No. Again, another one that I couldn't tell you the last time I had one.
Couldn't either. It would have been like early high school for me.
Right.
Since I've had a Milky
Right.
Way. Now, I've had Milky Way Midnights. Technically my grandfather, my grandmother's husband, definitely part of the family, but I don't call him my grandfather. I call him by his name, Larry, and that's just what we do. Larry! My guy Larry loves Milky Way Midnights.
Shout out
If he
Larry.
sees them, he will get like a buggy full of them, and I'm not kidding. Or a cart if you're not from West Virginia.
It's a buggy.
Yeah, nobody in Ohio calls them that, so I get like strange looks sometimes. So,
Where'd my buggy go?
but yeah, he will handle the Milky Way Midnights, and I appreciate it. So
Nothing wrong.
they're good.
Nothing wrong with that.
But I think they're a dark horse for my personal top 5. Doesn't sound like they're gonna dethrone Reese's Pieces for number 2 though, so we can move on.
Yep.
Up next, 2 more that go together. We got Hershey's and Hershey's Cookies and Cream, which Hern has never even heard of.
I don't know how. I love Oreos. I love cookies and cream ice cream.
And
I
you've
don't
never
know
had a
how-
Hershey's Cookies and Cream.
I've never had one. I sincerely need to go out and try one because it sounds delicious. So because I don't have much dog in this fight comparatively, which one's better?
Cookies and Cream all day. I will never ever go for a normal Hershey bar, even though like I don't mind Hershey's chocolate even as an adult. I definitely agree with most people that like it's not the pinnacle of chocolate. I don't know anybody who really argues that it is. But I still have nothing against it. I could eat a Hershey bar and be fine.
Okay.
But Cookies and Cream Hershey's are so unique and different. I will go for them every time over a normal Hershey. Every time. And my wife likes those a lot too. So
Okay.
but you have no dog in this fight at all because you've never tried or even you've never seen one. You've never seen one.
When I Googled it, I think I recognized the wrapper. Like I probably have seen it on the shelf,
Okay.
but I definitely never.
They've been around, man. They've been around like our entire childhoods. So
Right.
that's interesting. I don't think it would push. It maybe would have been a dark horse for top 5. Probably not though.
Okay.
Real quick, I do have a quick shout out mandatory from my wife of Zero Bars, which she swears I should put on the Halloween candy list. They are not Halloween candy. Hern, did you get a single zero? How many Zero Bars did you get ever trick or treating in your entire life? Because my answer is the name of the bar. Zero.
No, I don't think so.
But Good Mythical Morning, one of the hosts, Link, his wife loves Zero Bars, so they put it in their tournaments usually. And my wife and I realized, like, first of all, we never got them trick or treating ever growing up, so we should definitely try one. It's a white chocolate bar, which I didn't know. Did you know that?
Nope.
It's like a white chocolate Snickers. With like, I don't think it has caramel. It's like white chocolate, nuts, nougat, maybe one other thing in there. I don't think it's caramel. Maybe it is. Oh, I think it has peanut butter too. I think it's literally like a white chocolate Snickers. They are really good. My wife loves them. She went on a little kick of them. She asked that I mention them, and I said, "Hun, they're not Halloween candy." She said, "Just mention them." I'm like, "Okay." Shout out to the Zero Bars. Very good. Not even Halloween candy to be ranked. So
Next.
I'll let you take the next one here.
Next we got Butterfingers. Butterfinger, which
I love you always give so much chutzpah when you intro stuff.
thanks.
REESES.
I got a
CGPS.
reputation. I got a reputation to uphold here.
Yeah, you do.
Not a fingers. Butterfingers again. From what I remember, They are great. I haven't had one, and I promise you, over 6 years. So for me to say, oh yeah, they're up there in my top 5,
Yeah.
it's not fair because there are many candies here that I have had within the last month. So I can't
Interesting
put
to
something
say.
that I have not had for years. I just can't. Nothing against Butterfinger, but comparatively, sorry.
My wife will get them every now and then. We don't buy a lot of just like candy ever. My wife has this one sea salt chocolate bar she likes. With the exception of that, like we never buy candy, ever, unless I'm just like starving.
I'm
And I just need
starving,
something out of
Mom.
a vending machine. I'm starving. And so maybe I'll get one. But she'll get Butterfingers every now and then when we do get candy. And I just want to say this about Butterfingers. I'm not big into toffee. And I think it's technically toffee that's in the middle of that, right? It's like a peanut butter toffee, technically.
Couldn't tell you.
I love peanut butter everything. Nothing disappointed me more than like, oh, this is a peanut butter chocolate bar when I was a little kid trying one for the first time. I remember the first time I tried them. Don't remember how old I was, but I remember thinking like, this is going to be awesome. And then it's crunch, shatter, and you're just crunching, which you might not have even heard me do, by the way. Might not have came through.
I did hear
Okay,
that. Yeah.
okay. And I'm like, what is this? This is not peanut butter. And it does have a peanut butter taste to it, but it's not enough for me to be like, this is peanut butter. And so I'm anti-Butterfinger, bro. Sorry.
Get out.
This next one, though.
Uh-oh.
Sheesh.
Uh-oh. It's your boy, Eric. It's your boy, the kitty cat. Bro, Kit Kats alone are fantastic. You ever put a Kit Kat in the refrigerator?
I don't think so.
Or the freezer?
Actually, I have. Yes, I have put some in the refrigerator. Literally just
put 'em in
chocolate
the-
ones, too, but not for the reason
Yeah.
you would think. I have, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else? Why? What do you mean not the reason you would think? What are the reasons?
So, fun fact. Who are Kit Kats made by?
Don't know. Don't care.
In the United States, they are a Hershey candy bar. You will see them bundled with the Hershey stuff if you buy the Halloween bags, okay?
Okay.
Everywhere except the United States, they are a Nestle candy.
It's weird.
So you can buy the Nestle Kit Kats at like international markets and stuff because they're huge in like Japan and everything. And so I saw the Nestle chocolate ones at one place. I was like, gotta try them. And this is while I was on a huge Kit Kat kick. And I will go on the record right now. This is gonna somewhat, spoil it a little early here. They're my favorite candy bar. They are. They're not the one that I will go for the most when I'm just like out at a vending machine because they're like a whole task. Snap, snap. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole thing.
Break me off a piece of that
Fancy feast.
Chrysler car.
But that being said, the Nestle Kit Kats are even better than the Hershey ones that you've had. And they have a million flavors. This past weekend, I saw vanilla ice cream flavored Kit Kats. And I will be trying them very soon.
America sucks.
Like, what are we doing with these Kit Kats? What are we doing?
Why are we gatekeeping Kit Kats?
Well, apparently, we got to make them by Hershey here. Everywhere else gets Nestle. Here, Hershey, because Hershey reigns supreme. That's a weird deal. I've never heard of a deal like that before.
I don't understand that. I don't understand it at all.
So if you look online, if you Google, like, Kit Kat, you will see, like, a logo with, like, a bit of a brownish tint, and then, like, the word mark is white with a black drop shadow. That is Hershey Kit Kats. If you see just, like, a white logo with, like, the words cut out of it, that's the Japanese one, the Nestle Kit Kat, and that one looks better as well. So not only does the logo look better, the candy tastes better, and they have a million flavors, like matcha, for example. which are
America
so good.
doing what we do best in our recent history,
And
catching
failing.
L's.
Kit Kat for me is number 2 right now.
Okay, I honestly, I'm 100% comfortable with that.
Yes,
It's not the bar. It's not the bar that I was thinking of. Honestly,
It's not the bar I was thinking of either.
Oh, really? Oh,
Nope, it's not.
Oh, whatever. If I'm
That
at
is
a
my
gas
favorite candy
station,
bar.
if I'm at a gas station, I'm probably not going Kit Kat. I'm gonna go
Same.
what I will mention later as my favorite bar. But as far as like, if I have it my way, candy bar, if I can put them in the refrigerator.
BK.
I'm never gonna do that. If I can put them in the refrigerator and have them cold, best candy bar.
They're great cold. But anyways, yeah, those ones that I bought, the Japanese ones, I had like a bag in the fridge because it was like middle of summer. keep them, not melted. And so,
Yep.
I have had cold chocolate Kit Kats. They're amazing.
Amazing.
We have had some funky flavors in the U.S. recently. I got my finger on the pulse of the Kit Kats. We had like a lemon one time. It was really good. We had a blueberry muffin one time. It tasted like a candle.
Okay.
But right now, Kit Kat number 2. We saying it? The contingent number 2 as we finish up this list.
Yes, sir. Let's roll.
This list is huge.
Yeah, we need to roll.
Rapid fire. Starburst? Versus
Starburst?
Kit Kat? Let's just propose it like as a versus. More
Okay.
emphasis on the verses right now. Starburst versus Kit Kat.
Kit Kat.
All day. Starburst is great. One of the best non-chocolate candies. Shout out to the strawberry. Shout out to the lemon. Down with the cherry. Starburst is really good. It's not Kit Kat. Doesn't touch Kit Kat.
Nope. I would agree. Agree with that entirely.
All right. I'm going to allot 5 seconds of the pod for the next 2 combined because I think that's all it's worthy of, and I think you will agree.
100%.
Take the 5 seconds for Tootsie Roll and Tootsie Pops. Go. And that's all the time we have for that. Moving on to our next candy. Dum Dums. Not bad. Not bad. Versus Kit Kats. What do you think?
Are you kidding? Versus get out of here, Dum Dums.
Well, I said not bad on their own, but then versus Kit Kats, it's not a competition. It's not a competition, bro.
Dum Dums aren't the best sucker we have on here. Let alone they're not going to touch Kit Kats.
Ooh. I know why you say that, and I like the other suckers that you like. I will disagree with you, though. Dum Dums, I think, are the best suckers on here.
I will also say, quickly, my brother almost died chewing on a Dum Dum when he was like a young... I don't know what age you're supposed to be whenever you are like sucking on Dum Dums and suckers.
Old enough to die from them.
Well, you get a Dum Dum stuck in your throat right now, it might suck.
I'm
You're
old
a
enough
grown
to not
adult.
get a Dum. I'm old enough and young enough to not get a Dum Dum stuck in my throat. So
You can control not getting choked. You can
for the
control
most part,
that 100%.
yes. For the most part,
It does
yes.
happen, though. It does happen.
It does happen.
You get choked.
It does happen.
Okay. So don't act like you have control of every muscle in your body and you can 100% of the time not get choked.
Listen, I hurt my foot playing pickleball of all things last night. The top of my foot somehow. Like I know that I don't have control of every muscle in my body. It's all good.
All right. So he was old enough to where it's not like you
Over the age
let
of
your
6.
blank-year-old have a Dum Dum. Like he was okay to have a Dum Dum, but like immediately popped off the stem in his throat. We were driving down the road somewhere, and my dad had to pull over and like. In the heat of the moment, like, oh crap, what do I do? He just like jammed his hand in trying to dislodge the thing. And I'm pretty sure to this day my dad has like scars on his hands where like my brother's teeth were like in his hand. So because he was like trying to pluck it out. And he got it out. And from that day forward we never had Dum Dums.
No more Dum Dums, huh?
No more Dum Dums. So
You were probably really young
Yeah,
then when you last had your last Dum Dum.
yeah.
like
It's
them.
not
They're
it's
good.
not the best sucker on this list, bro. It's not.
It is because of the flavor variety and how quickly you can have one. I don't have to have an all-day affair to have a Dum Dum. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's part of the appeal, is the stop and go. The pump and dump.
Moving on.
That's the name of a gas station. It really is.
I'm sure it is.
Fun Dip. No, thank you.
I personally love Fun Dip. That used to be
Despise
my
it.
go-to.
It's a chore. It's a freaking chore.
You dip it and you suck it. What?
Like the chalk candy stick is not good on its own.
It is. It's so
not.
good.
You like those. We just talked about that. But like this one
Yeah.
is so hard. It's not able to just be like chewed on.
By the time you're done sucking on it, sucking all the sugar off it, softens up.
You never get all of the powder out. And I'm like, well, I got this powder.
Yeah,
That's
you
the best
can.
part. Maybe I'm
You
just a
lick-
Fun Dip amateur.
You
Hern.
lick the stick and the sugar sticks to it.
Isn't it called like a licking stick?
I don't know.
I think it says
probably
like licking stick.
it should be. You lick it and the sugar sticks to it. So yeah, you can get the sugar out.
Not all of it, I said. Not all of it. I never, anytime I was done with Fun Dip, whenever I had it as a kid, which wasn't very often, it was usually those stupid movie theater bundles where I wanted a candy besides Fun Dip. I did not
I
want
wanted a
Fun
Fun
Dip.
Dip. I wanted it.
You wanted it over the other options you could have had at the movies, like Cookie Bites?
Most movie theater candies suck.
That's a debate for another day that I don't know that I would disagree with you on. Because I go these days and I'm like, I don't want any of this garbage.
Compared to all this stuff we've said, sucks.
For the most part, yeah. But Fun Dip's not cracking the top 5, bro. Let's be honest with ourselves here. We can move on. It's definitely not dethroning Kit Kats.
No, it's not.
And neither is the next one, but I'll let you have your moment in the sun.
The best sucker on this list, Blow Pops. A sucker and
Not
gum.
better than Dum Dums.
Oh my god, it's literally 2 candies in one. It's literally chewing gum and a sucker.
You never
Does the
get
gum
all
last?
the sucker out of the gum when you're chewing on the gum at the end. You're expecting to have this gum to have, on its own after you're done, and you never get all the sucker out of it, ever.
What is
crunch,
your problem with candy? Do you not know how to eat candies?
What do you mean? I'm
you're
saying, like,
telling
even
me-
when you're like, oh, I'm done with the sucker, just about, all I have left is gum, and you get the gum off the stick.
It's gooey. It's gooey.
It is, but there's, like, some shards of sucker in there still.
What do you mean there might be shards on this stick, but how long do the shards last? First off, how quickly are you
Couple minutes.
chewing? You're powering through this sucker for there to be shards of it. It should be
They
just
never last more than 10 minutes. Never.
Okay, yeah, you're. So, but you said, oh, it's not an all day endeavor. When I have a Dum Dum, it's nice. But then you're saying you're calling
Dum Dums
Blow
are
Pops-
like 2 to 3 minute suckers, bro. I'm a freak, I guess. Like
you got the
like okay, how do you eat popsicles? Do you lick your popsicles down to the core and then they eventually just get real tiny? I eat popsicles.
You bite them. I bite some. I'll bite occasionally. Yeah.
My wife thinks it's the weirdest thing. She's like, "That's wrong. You're not eating popsicles right." And I'm like, "This is just what I do." Like,
Let me eat them.
so that's kind of what I do with suckers too. Once they get soft, I'll put them in my mouth until they get soft. I'm like, oh, okay, this has give to it. Now I'm gonna chew it.
Yeah. Bad for your teeth.
So
Let's continue.
what'd you say?
I said bad for your teeth. Then I said let's continue.
Bad for your teeth. Terrible for your teeth. Payday bars. One of the most underrated bars out there.
Would 100% agree that it's underrated. Would not crack
Doesn't have a shot to
Kit Kat
top Kit
or
Kats.
Reese's Pieces. Sorry.
Can we be honest with ourselves here?
Can we?
There's at most one more thing on this list that I think has a prayer of dethroning Kit Kats. If you want to definitively say the number 2.
Okay.
Or maybe you have one that you want to fight. What do you think?
Yeah. So, are you saying we should just
You want to
kind
say
of
what
wrap
the
it?
other thing is? Do you have another thing that you think has a shot at beating Kit Kats for number 2?
No.
Okay, yeah, because I think Kit Kats, looking at the rest of the list, is going to be our number 2.
Yep.
And then we can keep going and kind of hold this up along other things and kind of go from there. Change it up a little bit. So I think right now we're pretty definitive. We could always edit later on. That's the power of hosting the show that we have, right? It's like, we want to change it, we can change it. But for the moment, it seems like number 1, Reese's. Number 2, Kit Kat. Like, dang. Like, if I had 2 pieces of candy that I could eat for the rest of my life, it's probably those 2.
Yep. Yeah.
Whew. All right. Well, the next up is we'll do like Payday versus like Jolly Ranchers. How about that?
Okay. Give me a payday.
Give me Payday. Jolly Ranchers are like less enjoyable suckers to me.
Yep. I give you that.
And they're really, really strong flavors, which is good sometimes and bad other times. But I
Yep.
feel like Jolly Rancher watermelon, Jolly Rancher green apple, Jolly Rancher blue raspberry are all so distinct flavors. Good for branding. Not as great in practice, I don't feel like.
Yeah.
So give me Paydays.
All right.
What about the old nerds?
I don't dislike nerds, but I could take them or
I
leave
have a
them.
strong opinion on them.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
fine. I've had very many positive memories of eating nerds. Like the duos that had 2 flavors in one box. Like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
mind-blowing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Uh huh.
But no, dude. Like, it's not a top 5 Halloween candy. It's just not.
Nope. Sorry.
And the next one has even less of a shot.
Oh.
Unless you're a big fan. Which I think you
Are
said
you
this is
putting-
what you like, right?
You're putting Twizzlers below nerds?
Personally, yes. I am. I'll be completely honest with you. I'll tank Twizzlers so hard I don't think they have a shot of making top 5. Not out of spite. Like, if it's one of your faves, maybe this can be your little fave that we put in the little corners of our little graph we're going to make. But, no, dude. Like, on this list so far, anything that I'm having over Twizzlers. You ready? Rapid fire. Things I'll have over Twizzlers. Reese's Pieces, M&M's, Peanut M&M's, Skittles, Sour Patch Kids, Twix, Crunch Bars, Milky Ways, Milky Way Midnights, Hershey's Cookies and Cream, Kit Kats, Starburst. I'll say Butterfingers, Dum Dums, Blow Pops, Paydays, Nerds. That's all but like 4 things on the list. Like, it can't.
That's disgusting.
There's no way I can have this crack top 5, bro. It can't.
That's disgusting. Twizzlers deserve justice from my man, Twizzlers. But
Well, fight for it, bro. Fight for it.
no, I love Twizzlers. Sincerely, like, if there's any candy I have in my cabinet right now, Twizzlers are probably like, they have a great shot of being
They're good
in
for
my
a day night
cabinet.
at home.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
so, but
Chilling on the
they're-
couch watching a movie.
but they're not good for-
watching a show.
They're not good for Halloween candy
Not as good as anything else I just named over. I don't think. No, I don't.
over several Sour
Especially
Patch
like
Kids?
think about it for the Halloween candies though. You get the 2 little tiny sticks.
Okay. I guess in regard
think
to
of it like that sense, too.
specifically Halloween candies, yeah, they're not great.
Talking about Halloween candy. Yes.
So,
like if we're talking
that's-
movie theater candy, it beats almost all the things.
That's my go-to movie theater candy. I get Twizzlers.
I don't blame you.
Alright.
I like the kazoodles a little more, as gimmicky as they are.
Ugh.
I like the little powder. But yeah, that's my thought,
Okay.
bro.
Moving
So,
on.
Halloween candy, they're low,
Moving on to what I would say is a very low Halloween candy. Airheads.
very low, dude.
Yeah, get out of here. Honestly, I think we're kind of
Yeah, get out of here.
yeah, kind of yeah. I think we're kind of in a rut here for a minute, buddy. I think we could.
This
literally,
is not good. Like until like the end of the list.
I think we could literally just yay or nay the next like probably 8 of the next 10.
I think that's a fair thing. I pretty much have something small. We could yay or nay it, and I'll give my little 2 cents that I have for literally everything that's ever existed in human history. How about that?
As you do, pal.
Airheads, nay.
Nay.
I talk about least favorite candy experiences. Butterfingers up there. Airheads might be on there as well. I didn't have one until like 3rd grade, I think. Like you see the commercials all the time. They sound so good on the commercials. They suck. They're terrible. They're worse versions of another candy coming up on this list.
Okay. Smarties.
Yay.
I'm never gonna buy them. I'm never gonna go buy Smarties.
They're not close to a top 5 Halloween candy, but I like getting them like in school for like stuff, right? Like I had one teacher that was like, Smarties are Dum Dums. If you did good on a grade, you get a Smartie, you get a Dum Dum. You chose even
The
if you
cheapest
did good.
candies known to man.
Hey, knowing they're buying that and not getting refunded for it, I feel less bad about
Okay.
them getting the cheapest candies. So
Okay.
I look differently on teachers now than I did as a kid. But generally, I'd say yay to Smarties, but not enough to crack top 5.
The next one I've never had, so take it.
Hot tamales, also alongside Airheads for being one of the most disappointing candy experiences ever. Because that box looks so hot tamales, so freaking cool and in your face, and it's radical.
Drink
SpongeBob, drink it. Yes, you got the reference, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. It's radical, and it's like radical.
Drink it.
Drink it. So good.
It works.
Can't believe you got that, dude. That's the advertising for it, and then you get it in your mouth. You're like, this is literally just like waxy cinnamon.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather die than eat another hot tamale in my life.
Sounds right.
So nay. Next one though.
Next one.
Ready to fight, bro. I'm ready to fight. I'm
go,
ready to fight.
Go ahead. I have not had. I've not had much
big
of this.
yay.
I've not had
Big
much
yay.
of this, so it's not gonna crack for me. But from what I have not disliked Swedish Fish.
I think it's one of the most unique candies out there in terms of flavor. Nothing replicates the fish. Like if you see like a gummy fish, like G Fuel, hashtag not a sponsor, hashtag should be, makes a gummy fish flavored G Fuel. It's Swedish Fish. You get that immediate distinct taste that no other candy replicates, which cannot be said about basically any other candy on here, by the way, that no other candy replicates it. Swedish Fish is one of them. I think right now that would probably make my honorable mention spot. It would. Right now, Swedish Fish is up there. It's one of my favorite non-chocolate candies. I would say generally yay, not strong enough to put it top 5 at the moment.
That's fine. Next, I've never had again. Take it.
Runts, it's hard candy, hard fruit candies. They're fine. They get better as you get older, but haven't had them in years. Never gonna pick them out of anything else. So I'd say probably nay.
Cool. Let's bundle these next two: wax bottles and the wax root beer barrels. Fun for the gimmick. No other candy like that, but yeah, I'm not gonna
It's
fight
a
for
nay,
it.
dude. It is like, especially we're looking at Halloween candy as an adult, which isn't the lens they're meant to be viewed through. Mm-hmm. But like even in terms of memories, they disappointed me as a kid. Mm-hmm. So that's a no, dude. I don't like the wax soda bottles or even the wax root beer barrels. I would take the barrels over the bottles though. Personally, the root beer.
5 Whoppers and 5 More Whoppers.
Maybe a hot take here. Probably the worst chocolate candy on the list.
I think Whoppers, like I mentioned earlier about peanut M&Ms, how you'll just get a dud. You will get dud Whoppers like at least 30%
Like
of the time.
rock hard.
Yeah, or rock hard, or they taste bad, or whatever. You will get dud Whoppers at least 30%
You get some
of
funky
the
ones,
time.
won't you? You will get some funky ones in there.
Yeah, I won't buy it. You will never
They're
see
malt
me
balls.
with Whoppers.
Frick, that means.
You will never see me with Whoppers in my shopping cart.
Never. What about Milk Duds? Is that on the list?
I don't think Milk Duds is on here.
It didn't make the list, but I got them for Halloween, and they stick to the box, and you have to go to get them out, and then you put them in and break your teeth.
Yep. So, another terrible one for me, Almond Joy.
That's a good one, dude. It's so much better. And again, we're looking at it through the lens of an adult. The older I get, I'm like, ooh, a coconut, like chocolate covered coconut with the almonds on top, or I guess one almond on top if you're talking about the Halloween bars. Mm-hmm. They're good. They're so different, and they go down really easy. I would hold them up there alongside. I'd have them over Milky Ways for sure. I would have them over one of the ones coming up on this list, Three Musketeers.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do Three Musketeers then. I'd say mid.
It's mid. Yeah. I have them after I'm out of Snickers.
Okay. That's fine.
After I'm out of Snickers is when I get to my Three Musketeers. I love Almond Joys, though. Not enough to crack the top 5. More than Three Musketeers, though. Mounds, wherever Almond Joy would end up, put them literally directly beneath. Because they're the same thing. Dark chocolate instead of milk. No nut instead of nut.
No Nut November. Snickers. Snickers.
Can't have those during No Nut November.
Snickers are pretty good. I would put them actually pretty high. Actually, very high. I'm gonna say Snickers for me. Snickers for me is cracking top 5.
They are. That's the candy bar I was referring to earlier. Where I was
really?
Like side by side. I will like if I'm at a vending machine and I'm like I'm just kind of hungry.
Okay.
I'm getting candy to satisfy your hunger, which is not something any adult should ever have to do. But sometimes, like let's be honest, circumstances happen.
Sometimes you have to.
Sometimes you need a bag of TGI Fridays potato skins and a chocolate bar to satisfy your hunger because that's all the vending machine has, and that's your only option. And in that case, I'm always going to choose Snickers. I think they are, like, to me, we talked about the cereal at one point. We disagreed. We said Fruit Loops. I said Cheerios are the cereal, even though Cheerios are my favorite. Snickers are my favorite. Kit Kats are. But the candy bar, to me, if you're like, what's the candy bar? It's Snickers, bro.
Okay.
I think it's the candy bar.
I like it. I think, are we putting it at 3?
I think right now it has to be 3. And again, we talked about had 2 candies for the rest of my life, which is the scale we wanted to view this in, right? Mm-hmm. You only get these if you had a bucket of only these Halloween candies, what were the 5 you want, or you only had these for the rest of your life, whatever you want to say. If I'm looking at Reese's, Kit Kat, Snickers as my 3,
I'm fine.
I'm chilling. I'm like, yeah, that's all I could have asked for. All chocolate, which might be a trend.
Oops.
I don't know if it's going to continue this way or not. There's one coming up that I think could make the list.
I think it could too. I think we might be talking about the same one.
Oh, I hope so, dude. I hope so. We got to show some love.
The next one. Baby bottle pop. Baby bottle pop. To the max.
Lick it, twist it, and dunk it. Whatever it says.
I have no idea. I just know baby bottle pop. Baby bottle pops.
I think it says lick it. I think it says lick it, twist it, dunk it, but that's out of order. Because you got to dunk it before you twist it.
I don't know.
They're great candies. They're great.
Great gimmicky. They're one-of-a-kind candies. Not cracking top 5.
I like them more than Almond Joys. Not Almond Joys. I definitely don't like them more than Almond Joys. Why did I say that? Almond Joy was in front of my eyes, I guess. I guess I made eye contact with Almond Joy. I like them. I like them more than Jolly Ranchers.
Yes.
In terms of that kind of candy, because it's kind of the same thing. Probably one of my favorite non-chocolate candies on here, but again, talk about a chore. I definitely prefer them over Fun Dip because they can be contained. Stupid. You just put the sucker back on, right? And they had a little lid, didn't it? Usually?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So, that was my thing. And I preferred them over Push Pops, which I never got for Halloween because of the powder. So, I like Baby Bottle Pops, but it's not top 5, bro. It's not 4th or 5th, bro.
Nope.
Ain't no way, bro.
Neither is this next one a 100-gram bar.
Better than Nestle Crunch is what I will say.
Okay.
Kind of the same vibe. Better than Nestle Crunch. 100-gram bars. Who's the audience?
80-year-olds?
Right? But here's the thing, though. 80-year-olds had all the candies we had. Like, my grandmother loves Whoppers. Loves them.
And 5.
Like, we'd always get her, like, a Whoppers.
Whoppers.
I think they have, like, houses for Christmas. Whopper houses.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen those?
No.
They're, like, milk carton-shaped bottles or boxes of Whoppers. And then, like, a decorated Christmas house.
Okay.
We'd always get her one of those. And I think we maybe would get her one for Easter as well. That was, like, similarly decorated. But, like, dude, like, why are you choosing Whoppers over, like, 90% of this list? And same with 100 gram bars. They're around. People are buying them. Someone is.
Sorry.
Who is going to Magic Mart and buying 100 gram bars?
Magic Mart. What a pull. Magic Mart.
Tell me, okay, 100 gram bar is the Magic Mart of candy bars.
That's a great.
So
it makes
Isn't
no
it,
sense,
though?
but it makes total sense. That's great. That's great. It makes. I don't know why. I haven't thought of Magic Mart. If you had not said Magic Mart just now, I would have lived hopefully 60 more years and not thought of Magic Mart.
Because it's gone and they're not around anymore.
No. I
Talk about it. That's like a Twilight Zone experience, and we could talk about that at some point on the pod. It's like literally like this is like the Twilight Zone in here. This is not a normal place.
All right. I have 9 minutes left before my phone runs out of storage, and I can't delete anything. So we're gonna do.
Let's get it.
The last one. Let's skip the one. I'm gonna skip the one that I think we're gonna agree on. We're gonna do the last one. Sweet tarts.
Okay. That's a nay for me.
Nay.
Like, I don't have Smarties. I don't have Smarties. Bro.
I 100% agree. A underrated contender.
It's so
for
underrated,
one of the
bro.
Best Halloween candies, Laffy Taffy, bro. Specifically, banana Laffy Taffy.
I would prefer the strawberry.
Okay.
Personally,
That's
Banana's
fine.
number 2. But they're both really slept on.
Oh.
That's like to this day the best taffy I've ever had.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's not supposed to be. It's like the Hershey of taffy.
Yeah.
Like there's like fancier saltwater taffy.
saltwater taffy, yeah.
Laffy Taffy's better. It's
Agreed.
literally better.
100%
I like
agree.
all of them.
Are we putting Laffy Taffy top 5? Are we putting it 4?
Laffy Taffy, bro. And for context, again, we're done with the list. That's it. Every candy's been talked about at least one point that we have on the list. If we missed your favorite, sorry, we just never got it for Halloween.
We're not sorry.
Or you liked Milk Duds,
Is-
which sort of got mentioned.
Does Laffy Taffy, because we haven't mentioned it the past few, with our current slider, Reese's Pieces is sitting in
It's close.
4. I would probably,
For Halloween candy, I'd put Laffy Taffy.
I would too.
I would.
I think I would too. So
I would.
Are we saying, as of right now, the
Dude.
list is RWSESCUPS?
I cannot believe
Kit
Laffy
Kats?
Taffy's going to make it. And it's mostly out
I
of the
think-
fact that we just really agree on it.
I
We
think
really agree on them being good.
it's just you have all these other chocolate candies. You have all these other caramel candies, all the other candies with nuts. You got some suckers, whatever. I think of all non-chocolatey, non-nougaty, non-caramelly, non-sucker candies.
Yeah.
Laffy Taffy, bro. It's great. Can it be annoying? Yeah. Every you can get a Reese
you-
cup that has melted and it sucks. Every candy
If you
can
get the
suck.
Laffy Taffies where the package sticks to it, that is a bottom 5
terrible.
candy experience ever. Where it's like, I literally can't get it out. I literally
terrible.
can't eat it, bro. You're like folding it and pushing it and chewing the little bits that come out and stuff. You're like, I can't get it out of the package, or the package is literally stuck to it.
Terrible.
But that being said, still worth it. Still worth it, bro. It's a great flavor.
RWSESCUPS.
Yes.
Kit Kat. Snickers.
Snickers? Laffy
Laffy
Taffy?
Taffy. RWSES.
Not sure. I'm not sure, though.
Oh. Wait, what are you throwing at 5?
It's tough because there's a couple things. If you're asking me personally, at that point of Reese's Pieces, I'm really gonna fight for peanut M&Ms over Reese's Pieces, bro. I am.
I'm honestly fine with that, especially because we already have Reese's. So
That's the thing. I'm like, especially if I've got 5 for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'm looking at 5 things in my Halloween bucket. You get 5 candies to fill out your Halloween bucket. What do you want?
Yeah, you don't want
I don't
double.
want Reese's and Reese's Pieces.
Right.
I'd rather have more Reese's than I would Reese's Pieces. But the peanut M&Ms, similar vibe, still chocolate, still peanut, different enough candy overall.
I
would fight for them.
I think I'm entirely down for that.
For real?
I would sign off on that.
Wow.
yeah.
What is your honorable mention then? Is it Fun Dip?
Honestly, at this point, it might be Fun Dip. I've said Dots, I've said Twizzlers, and I've said
Twizzlers.
Fun Dip.
Which would you rather have for Halloween? If you had one thing to throw into your specific our bucket, the headaches and hot
Fun
dip,
Dip.
Halloween bucket is Reese's, Kit Kat, Snickers, Laffy Taffy, peanut M&Ms. Sorry for smacking my microphone there. You get one thing to throw in there on top of it. What are you throwing on top of that bunch?
I'm probably taking Fun Dip. For Halloween, I'm taking
Wow, that's crazy. Like, I would have never said that. Ever.
Not me. Me? Not me. Not me. What did you said?
I think I'm taking Swedish Fish.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
I think I am.
I'm fine with
like,
that.
Again, it's so unique. It's like it's a good switch up. Like I think do they have them at movie theaters?
I think sometimes they do. I think so.
So like I need to start getting them when I go to movies twice a year.
Yeah.
That's all I ever go.
For real.
The attention span, bro.
I think that's
Are
a
we
great.
satisfied with this?
Our honorable mentions are different, which is fine. I think we have arrived
Very fine.
at
Ideal, actually.
The definitive per us. Therefore, it is correct.
Therefore,
the definitive Reese's Cups, Kit Kats, Snickers, which, of course, yeah, they're top dogs. They're top dogs for a reason. Laffy Taffy, biggest underdog in that list.
Biggest underdog on there, and like I dare you to disagree on any of these candies.
I dare you. I defy you to tell me why Laffy Taffy does not deserve.
Find me a better non-chocolate candy.
No.
I wouldn't even put them over Swedish Fish. Like personally, like I'm like because the varieties, bro.
You wouldn't, or you just said you wouldn't put them over Swedish Fish. You mean you?
I wouldn't put Swedish Fish over them. Is what I meant to say.
That's all. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. So, I think it's good, pal. I think it's great. I'm down to 3 minutes.
Great list.
So
you're good. We'll figure it out. We'll finish.
I think what we're gonna do. I think this is great. Coming at you next week, we're gonna stick with the Halloween theme, and
yes, sir.
Another Halloween theme episode. Only comes around once a year. Halloween.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking forward to
a
it.
Full year of headaches and hot takes episodes before we get back to Halloween again.
Yeah. So if you don't like it, then whatever. We got.
I think you will like it. I think you'll like it. How about that?
I think you will like it.
Sorry, this episode was weird, people, but hopefully the longer episode makes up for it in a way. If you enjoy this kind of content.
Yep.
Anything else to say, Hern? I just want to say thank you for listening. If you have, tell a friend to listen to us. Leave us a review on Spotify. That would really help us a lot, actually. Follow us at HeadacheSpot on x.com, a.k.a. Twitter if you're not lame. Hern, anything you'd like to leave us with?
I think next time, but I got some fan mail.
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
Check this out, buddy.
I'm not going to repeat what that says.
This says it is a shark survival kit. And I'm going to display it proudly on my mantle.
Yes, sir. Where it belongs.
Because you're going to hear the story, pal. You're gonna
One of these days. No, next week.
Next week, pal. You're going to
hear
the story. Why I need this.
Need that.
Or
Take
need it.
Everywhere you go.
I needed it. I needed it bad.
Past tense. Hooday.
I'm just Ken. Peace, baby.
Take it easy.